Hey, what's up guys? NullRage here, and today we're taking a look at the next hero being added to Marvel Heroes, Iceman. Now, bear with me in this video as all this Iceman hype has seemed to give me a little bit of a cold. Alright, let's go ahead and hop in and have a look at his hero synergies here. His level 25 hero synergy is going to give you 15 spirit, and his level 50 synergy is going to give you 5% damage to slowed targets. This is going to couple extremely well with Loki's 5% damage to slowed targets. Between these two, giving you 10% damage to anything that's slowed, and most characters have a slow in their kit. That's great. Alright, now on to his powers. I haven't looked too far into this because I like these videos to be a little bit of a exploration and reaction, less so than explanation. But it looks like he's got a few core mechanics here. He's got these things called chill and frozen, and the way chill works is you're going to stack 5 stacks of chill, and then you've got various skills that can apply it. Most of his skills will apply chill, and then once a mob gets 5 stacks of chill on them, they're going to become frozen. And then he's got another mechanic called shatter, which is going to use that frozen mechanic to apply bonus damage and shatter the frozen enemies. So let's go ahead and hop in. He's got frost beams here. Is a ranged tree, and each of these trees are going to have a corresponding stance. You got ranged here in frost beams, ice weapons melee stance, and constructs summon stance. And these are not final names of these skills. We'll see what they are eventually, but let's go ahead and have a look at the skills. We've got channeled beam here, energy damage twice per second, chill, each hit slows movement and attack speed by 10% for 4 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Enemies with 5 stacks become frozen for 5 seconds. There's that mechanic we were talking about earlier. Damage is increased by 1% per attack speed because it's a channeled skill. I think they're going to do that with a lot of channeled skills in the game now. I know Cyclops got that recently added, so attack speed is actually useful regardless of your build. It's your basic channeled beam skill. Pretty cool animation. Next up we've got Frozen Orb, and I really like the way this skill looks. Energy damage per hit. It's going to apply that chill and then freeze targets with the 5 stacks. It's got a 0-second cooldown. I'm wondering why that's listed exactly, but let's have a look at Frozen Orb. Oh, I love that. Very reminiscent of the old school Frost Nova sorcerer from D2. Ice Beam is next up. Energy damage and that chill and frozen mechanic we were talking about earlier. It's right there. Yep. Looks like it's just a piercing line attack. Is it a basic? Yes, it's a basic. That's a pretty nice basic. Applying that frozen. You can see these enemies getting frozen when I stack that 5. Well, you could. They may develop, there it is. This one's frozen, and then he got unfrozen there. Using these mechanics is going to be, watching for them and knowing when they proc and using them to your advantage for shatters is going to be very important. Ice Slick. Coat the ground with a layer of frost to impede attackers. Energy damage twice per second, vulnerability, and applies that chill and frozen. Oh, this is going to be good. Does each tick apply? No, it looks like it's just, it applies it once on the first tick. If each tick applied chill and frozen, or, well, rather chill, and then stacked up to 5 times and then froze, that would be really good, but yeah, it looks like you can see all of them got frozen there. It looks like only the first hit, the initial hit applies that chill. Alright, next up we've got Wave of Icicles. Now this is going to be our first Shatter skill. Project high-speed icicles at enemies in front of you with enough force to shatter frozen enemies. It's going to deal energy damage, 100% extra damage versus frozen enemies, consuming frozen and all stacks of chill. Where's it at? Right there? Alright, so here it is, just normally, without any chill or frozen. Just AoE burst, point blank AoE burst attack. Now, if they are all frozen, let's go ahead and... There's 5 stacks of that, and boom! Extra damage. Shatter them for extra damage. I like that. And next we've got the range stance we were talking about. Increase the long range effectiveness. Mutually exclusive with melee stance and summon stance. Right. And Wave of Icicles deals, I'm assuming that's not done yet. This is Test Center, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that's not finished yet. But it deals bonus damage and has a cooldown increased to 6 seconds. So this will get even longer on cooldown if you choose range stance, but it will do extra damage. Frozen Orb now applies 2 chill stacks. Oh, nice. That is an incredibly good skill, and range stance will only make it better. Extra damage to your chill powers and extra damage to your ranged powers. Damage rating bonus is doubled when you do not have an ice golem currently summoned. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So basically, using this stance, you'll want to not use any of your constructs, and we'll get to those in a minute. And choosing this, it says mutually exclusive, so if you put a point in here and confirm, then you won't be able to use melee or summon stance. Alright, Focused Beam. Channel an icy beam to focus down a single enemy. Energy damage twice per second. Damage is 5% per stack of chill on the target. So this does extra damage to chilled targets. Gotcha. And damage is increased by attack speed. We'll look at this. Is it just a single target thing? Ooh, single target spirit spender. Just channel that beam.
Oh, that one got him on the ear.
That voice acting is amusing. All right. So how would you want to? You want to be applying your chill. You'd probably like throw out a few frozen orbs. 1, 2, 3. Then go to town with this for maximum damage, and then 1, 2, 3. That might work. Alright, ice weapons. Next up, we've got Snowblower. I got that right there. This is going to be a mostly melee tree. And y'all know me, I love my melee attacks, so this may be the way I go. We'll find out. Alright, first up we've got Snowblower. Hold down a hotkey to subject enemies in front of you to a torrent of super cooled air. Energy damage twice per second, applies chill, which stacks up to 5 and then freezes. That is very effective for applying chill and getting that frozen. Yeah, that applies the freeze quite easily. Now, you will notice that there is some diminishing returns on the chill and frozen. Notice that guy just got frozen a little bit ago, and now he's not getting frozen right now. So, there is some diminishing returns on that, and that's going to be one thing that you'll have to be careful with on Iceman, is not to, make sure you catch that frozen and use it on something like Icy Arsenal. Physical damage, weaken, and shatter. Oh, is he? It says physical. This is energy. So it looks like he's going to be a physical energy hybrid. Yep, some of his melee stuff is going to deal physical damage. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so physical damage applies a weaken and a shatter. Extra damage consuming a frozen and chill stacks. So there it is normally. Lagged a little bit on that animation. That's cool. I really like that animation. He creates a, I don't know, a battle axe of sorts. It doesn't really have the blades of a battle axe. It's more just like a, I don't know, a big sword, a big claymore, and then slashes them down. But if you freeze the target, deal extra bonus damage, taking advantage of that shatter damage. Nice. Alright, next up we've got Frozen Spear. Energy damage, shatter. Okay. Let's have a look at Frozen Spear. Ah, it's just like a single target, very fast, quick animation. Boom. So that'll help you catch that frozen, quickly take advantage of that frozen. If you're, if you've waited too long and you really got to catch it on that last second, Frozen Spear is going to be the best way to do that. Because Icy Arsenal would, the animation, the swing time would take too long, and it'd probably be unfrozen by the time you hit it. Next up, we've got Icy Slash. Reform your hands into blades of razor-sharp ice that cut deeper the colder enemies are. It's going to deal physical damage and 25% extra damage for 5 seconds after you shatter an enemy. Okay, so there that is. That's like a cool concept. I like it. The animations, though, do need cleaned up just a little bit to make it feel more, I don't know, a bit more badass. But of course, this is Test Center, so things will change over the next week or so. Now it does do extra damage, 25% extra damage after you shatter an enemy. So freeze them, hit them with some spear, and then extra damage there. Very cool. Next up, we've got Icy Engage. Energy damage applies a chill, which stacks up to 5 stacks and then freezes. Use a giant icicle to launch yourself into the fray, slamming the ground and damaging enemies with the shockwave. Alright, so we got a crash down strike kind of thing. Animation not quite done yet, obviously, but very similar to Venom does something like this, where he leaps into the air and then comes down and does some AoE damage. Pretty cool. And it will apply that chill. Now, how to... I kind of want a... I don't know, maybe this will be easier to use with melee stance. Frozen Spear deals bonus damage when it has a cooldown increased to 6 seconds. So it's going to deal bonus damage, but the cooldown will increase. It's Frozen Spear right here. It's Icy Engage, applies 5 stacks of chill. Oh, okay, perfect. Yes, that was exactly what I was hoping for, is to be able to somehow, finish off getting them frozen. So you go melee stance, boom. Icy Engage now instantly freezes everything when you land. That is great. 15% damage for shatter powers. Damage negated 5% because it's a melee spec. Damage rating to melee powers is increased. And damage rating bonus is doubled when you do not have an Icy Golem summoned. So again, keeping you away from the constructs tree with using either one of these stances. Ice Block. Harden your frozen exterior, encasing yourself in unbreakable ice at will to briefly avoid enemy attacks. It looks like this is your defensive passive. You throw 1 point in here in just about every build, I'd say. For that passive 15% damage negation. It's got projectile deflection, defense, tenacity, and invulnerability duration. So, is it going to lock you in place when it does it? We'll find out. And regenerate health and restore spirit. Here we go. Turn into an ice block. That's pretty cool. Oh, wow. I hadn't even noticed this. This is so cool. This is so cool! I hadn't run around long enough to realize that he does this. But if you're just standing around, he's got the like 3 steps and hover thing that a lot of other heroes have. He takes a few steps and then he starts sliding around on his ice to move instead of walking. Because walking. Alright, next up we've got Snowplow. It's going to be his basic dash, it looks like. It's a melee movement skill. We got Ice Sled. Let's go and put these. Here we go. Alright, Snowplow. Wait, what is this? No, that was Ice Sled. Here's Snowplow. Here we go. This is obviously not finished yet, but I imagine once it's done, he will have a a bit longer dash component there, probably similar to.
Can't seem to freeze the air around me. Not enough juice.
Hopefully, Star-Lord in dash length. Star-Lord has a very nice dash, and there he goes. When it works properly, there we go. All right. Yeah, that's actually exactly like Star-Lord, but there is a little bit of... I don't know how I... Was it because there were enemies here? I have no idea. I cannot replicate the messed upness of that first dash. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, Ice Sled is his travel power. It's very cool. There you go. Let's have a look. Get out of the way, power. There we go. That's cool. And with a little bit of move speed, it would feel really nice. I'm really slow now because I don't have any gear on whatsoever. I like the sort of like you're sliding on ice with skates or something like that. You do this. Oh, I don't even know. Next up we've got Ice Golem. Summons a Bruiser Golem to if you last used a melee power. Wait, what? Okay, summons a Bruiser Golem if you last used a melee power. Summons a Snowball Golem if you last used a ranged power. Summon duration is 15 seconds. Energy damage, that's just the stats of the golems there. So you can see the Bruiser Golem's going to be doing a bit more damage. Let's see, let's use a... That's a melee. Alright, so there... Last used a melee skill, now we're going to summon a Bruiser Golem, right? Big, strong Bruiser Golem. Now, if our last skill that we used was a ranged skill, like Channel Beam here. Alright, the last skill we used is a ranged skill. Now we're going to summon a Snowball Golem? That's not a Snowball Golem. It says he's a Snowball Golem. Stay out here. There he goes. He's throwing snowballs. He likes to get in their face to throw snowballs, though. So, he's not too smart. Not too smart yet, but a little bit of AI tweaking, and I think that'll have it right. The Bruiser Golem's probably going to run up and punch them, and the Snowball Golem's probably going to stay at ranged and throw some snowballs. But I really like those golems. They're pretty cool. Break Freeze. Remove and become immune to negative status effects and flash freeze nearby enemies. It's going to be solid passive, giving you damage rating by increased by 5% to slowed enemies, and it looks like that increases quite a bit. Probably going to be a maxed out passive in most builds, as it gives damage rating to slowed enemies and critical hit rating. That's very nice. Also gives endurance and active effect. Applies 5 stacks of chill. Now, how exactly does it apply these? Does it... Yep, okay. It's a point-blank AoE around your character. Fairly large radius, too. And so it could be coupled after... If you did not use, if you did not use melee stance, let's say you're using summon stance or range stance, but you still want to use icy engage, then you can come down with icy engage. You can break freeze and get that full shatter bonus on all of your targets around you. Pretty cool. Now we've got the summon stance. You can have up to 2 additional ice golems. So 2 additional means a total of 3 from this, right? How many can we have just normally? Okay, just 1. All you get's 1 normally. But if you have the summon stance, then you can have a total of 3. I'm gonna go ahead and put the points in here. These the melee stance, range stance,
snowflake. I guess I am.
they're fairly straightforward, and we've already gone over them, but I want to put the points in the summon stance to show him with his maximum ice golems here. He's also going to deal some summoned ally damage increase with the summon stance, and damage plus 1% for 8 seconds when you hit with a range power, damage plus 1% for 10 seconds when you hit with a melee power, stacks up to 5 times. You get the effect of both of these, actually, so... you've also got an active effect on here with a energy damage per second area taunt. Interesting. Alright, so summon stance itself is a taunt? Ooh. Where did... summon stance isn't on the bar. Let's put that on the bar. There we go. Alright. So summon stance is going to cause me to do energy damage around me? Maybe it's energy damage around my summons. What is that? Oh, that was Ice Effigy. I hit the wrong button. Alright, let's try summons. Yes! Okay. There you go. There you go. That's how it works. Alright, so Ice Golem. You summon up some Ice Golems. Alright, we got a line of Ice Golems here. Now we use Summon Stance, and all of them are doing energy damage around them. That is very, very cool. It doesn't last too long. It's just a... It does also cause them to taunt, it looks like. Very, very similar. It's like a mini version of Emma Frost's, I don't know, AoE and taunt thing that she does around her summon. So it's a mini version of that, a very short version of that. It's very cool. And now we've got Ice Effigy, energy damage, and 20-second cooldown. Just big, huge burst. Alright. Have a look. I like that. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna make a giant statue of myself and then explode it in your face. It's great. So that's just huge burst damage. Like all signatures, it should do some nice damage when you have gear and max it out and all that. And now we've got Wall of Ice. Health and defense is 100% of your health and defense. So it looks like it just creates a wall. 10 seconds. Let's have a look. Yep, just a wall of ice. Can enemies walk through that? Probably not. That probably prevents enemies from walking through it. But it would, you know, it seems to allow you to walk through it just fine. You don't have any trouble walking through that wall of ice. But hopefully enemies will. That's all of his skills. I think next we've got Army of Icemen. Refrigerate, this is his ultimate. Refrigerate the entire area to harmful sub-zero temperatures and summon a small army of Icemen clones to overwhelm foes. Energy damage twice per second to everything in that, I guess, refrigerated zone. Ice Beam clone stats and Spike Punch clone stats. So you're going to spawn 2 different types of Icemen. Some Spike Punch Icemen and some Ice Beam Icemen. So let's have a look. Oh, that's cool. I like the frosted effect around the edge of the screen here. Yeah, that's awesome. It's not only are you summoning all those people out, but you're also dealing that energy damage twice per second. I imagine the damage on this, although it's a whole lot of small numbers, so it doesn't seem as awesome as a lot of other ultimates at first glance, but when you sort of tally up all of those small numbers, I think the damage on this is going to be pretty nice. I'd still like to see some kind of buff effect to Iceman himself. I don't know. I'm a real big fan of ultimates that give your character a buff for the duration of the ultimate. Um, and that may just be my personal preference and not really what Iceman needs. Anyway, all in all, I'd say Iceman is a very cool character. Ha ha ha, see what I did there? Oh, the puns. They're so bad. Unfortunately, his extra costume is not on the store yet. I saw it right there on the homepage. There it is. This is going to be his alternative costume. His, is it Age of Apocalypse, I want to say? Anyway, he's going to be a whole bunch more spiky than his default costume right here. Those are going to be his two launch costumes. Unfortunately, wow, how do I get the store up? There it is, X, gotcha. Unfortunately, yeah, it is not in here. But his default costume's very cool looking, I'd say. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.